Meet Mr. Dennis. Mr. Dennis has come here because he wants to tell you how to run your small business effectively without hiring 50,000 people. Also, without hiring people and paying them 25,000 naira, expecting that they will work.
Okay.
Because we know that we not work. So, you will do the work by yourself because you don't have money to scale. But it will help you to make it easier. So, you'll not be crying every night. Good afternoon, Dennis. How are you?
Good afternoon, Visi. I'm very well, thank you. How are you too?
I'm good. You're in Lagos, so I know half of your day was on the road.
Okay, something like that.
Okay, I understand.
It should be
I mean, I cannot relate, but I understand.
an average Lagos lifestyle.
Yes, that's why I say I can't relate. But I understand your pain. I feel your pain. Now, what we've come here for today, we have small businesses and we've had experiences where they had initial startup capital, either self-funded capital or investor-funded capital. And they thought that this capital was going to run them through everything operations. They had big plans. They thought they were going to make it in 1 year. So they were hiring people. They had like 50 people at once to start. See, your face has changed. Exactly, that's the problem. So they had like 50 people at once to start. And then halfway into it, they realized, this money and all the expectations I have hasn't come to fruition. Then we now start discussing, we have to lay off, we have to cut back on this. That building that we rented and leased for 10 years, we have to move it out and sublet, things like that. Now, there are the other ones who don't even have the money to even hire anybody. They're starting with the 200K in their accounts. They need to make it work because they have to build this business. They have a dream that must come to life. And they don't have the manpower or the money to even fund the manpower. So they, from the get-go, have already decided we need an alternative plan. We know it won't work if they just leave operations and just be running the business. It will fail. So you're here to, first off, help us navigate startup operational expenses and resources. What can be done at the start by yourself as a, say, self-funded business owner? What is smart to hire out? When is it smart to hire out? Things like that. So I'm going to start with this question. As a startup, what do you think are the essentials that you need that you can run by yourself?
All right, so thank you very much. Let me start by saying for every business, there are things you must know. It's one thing for you to have a big dream. It's another thing for you to know what you want to do or how to achieve those big dreams.
Yeah.
Those big dreams, right? So, and I so much believe in starting small, then over time you grow big. So, the first thing first is to get your business registered
Okay.
because that alone will help you. We create some level of confidence in your customer to help them
Okay.
to understand the kind of business you are into.
Yeah.
It gives them that rest of mind to say, "Oh, your business
The
is a well-known
registered
brand."
business,
registered
yeah.
business. So once that is registered, then you can then begin to look at things that you can do for yourself. So it now depends on the nature of business.
Okay.
So there are some businesses you cannot just start and say you want to run it
By
on your
yourself.
own.
Wow.
There are some businesses you need at least say 2-3 people come together, then you do it together. So these are the people that will be working with you directly. So like I said, it depends on the kind of business that you want to run.
Yeah.
Looking into. So say for example, if you want to go into, let's say, petty trade businesses, made, let's say, plantain chips.
Yeah.
You want to start producing in small quantities.
Yeah.
So in such businesses, you don't need 20 people, 100 people.
Yeah.
So all you need is just yourself and one more person to assist you.
Yeah.
Okay, so it now depends on the people you are selling to. Take, for example, you are supplying to malls, you are supplying to schools, you are supplying to churches or people. I mean,
Big
your target audience,
organizations,
they are
yeah.
quite,
Big.
enormous, and you need to increase. So that the more you increase, then you look at getting more people to support you to come in
Okay.
Then from there, you start to build structures around businesses.
Yeah.
So, okay, then you can then say, okay, at this point, oh, I need to increase the number of people that work with me. Oh, I need to set up this, I need to set up that. Do I need to hire more hands? You start to put all of this, all of this, this things in checks so that you are sure that at the end of the day, you are not running at loss.
Yeah.
You are in a business to make profit, and you're not getting that profit just to pay salaries.
Yeah. Okay, so now we know that for the first two parts, registering your business, handling your finances, Ercas has covered that for most people.
Great.
We would sort those things out for you seamlessly, so you're not running helter-skelter. But you see, there are other parts of operation that we cannot do everything, right? Is there a way or a workaround for businesses that can, say, manage operations, clients booking, all those kind? Let's say I run a spa. I just have a small spa. Yes, I would hire a massage therapist. Maybe I'll hire a nail tech and all that. But in terms of day-to-day operations, to hire an admin staff in this economy is going to cost you money. You're probably not even making that money yet. How does a business owner work around doing those things? Are there ways to make it work without having to hire someone else?
Yes, there are ways to make it work. The first thing is making use of the technologies available.
Okay.
Right? Technologies could be in form of you having an automated system in place whereby you just plug and play.
Yeah, so basically all those softwares,
Softwares, you understand, like the accounting softwares. So having those accounting software on your system, you don't need to get somebody to come in at all costs to do the accounting stuff for you. And another interesting thing that most small-scale businesses does is they hire or get freelancers to support them. Freelancers, just give them something to encourage them for coming. So thank you for coming. Then they also do virtual assistants.
Yes.
To support them. You don't have to be in the office every day. All I need to just to give you the permission to work with. Then give me my reports. So in that case, you are not keeping costless. So in that case, you are not keeping somebody a whole day to come and work with you 8 to 5 and expect to pay that person peanuts. No. But as a virtual assistant, you can do multiple jobs, right? And then by so doing, you are able to, as a business owner, you are able to get value for the little money you are paying. And at the same time, you are able to get some profit at the end of the day.
Okay, that makes sense. So I think the next issue will be when it comes to scaling, right? How does the business know, one, when to scale? How do you tell, okay, is it time for me to start hiring? Is it time for me to grow this business? For instance, most startups start in your home. They start from your parlor or your kitchen. If you're making food, for instance, if you're a hair vendor, it starts from your home. If you make candles, it starts from your home. How do you know when to say, okay, you know what? It's time for me to get a store. It's time for me to maybe start doing more. It's time for me to get a bigger space. Time for me to hire people. How do you know when the right time is?
The only right time to know for every business is when your demand for your product is higher side.
Okay.
Right? So, for example, you have a capacity to produce, let's say, 50 pieces of bread in a day. That is the capacity you can do at that moment as a startup conveniently. At that point, if you've started receiving orders above your turnout, your capacity, then there's a very big need for you to increase. So the first thing you look out for is what is the demand? What's your demand saying outside? So because there's no point increasing or expanding your scope when there's nobody there to pick up your product.
So basically, your demand has to outweigh your supply.
Definitely.
Okay, that makes sense.
So with that, you know that, at this point, I need to increase this. So then that now tells you, can I still continue this business in the comfort of my home? Can I still afford to bring in somebody to come and work with me in this place? So I need to get a small place. So even getting a place outside your home has to be, you don't have to go and get a very big place. You are scaling. So scaling, it's a gradual process. So there'll be a time you need to, get a bigger space. There'll be a time you need to leave that space again, change business location. There'll be sometimes you have to split office from production outlets. It depends on how the needs come, then you know how to address it.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, so when the business is scaling now, why is it important for this business to document its internal processes as growth comes?
Yeah.
Why is it important to document all of those internal processes, where we moved to, where we are planning to, and all of that?
So it's important for you to document it so that, number one, your target audience are aware
Okay.
of your either
Growth process,
relocation,
yeah.
of your growth,
Mm.
and also for the sake of records. In that case, you might have to do some updates.
Yeah.
Probably, for example, let's say you're operating within Ikeja and there's need for you to grow, and then you are moving to, let's say, Ikoyi, or you're moving to another location. In that case, your brand, address, all of that, what have you have to change,
Okay.
right? So that everyone is aware that, oh, this person no longer in Ikeja.
Yeah.
Because of space, the person has grown, has migrated to so place.
Or because of demand, hopefully.
Yeah,
Because
demand.
now people
Yeah.
on the island want my product.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense. So I think most small businesses will agree that the biggest issue they have is hiring right.
Yeah.
One, what roles are primary to hire as you scale? What's most important, especially when you start hiring? What can be left to automation or consulting? What is paramount to the business as you're growing and scaling? And then how do you differentiate between the two? How do you know what, in terms of staffing, what's necessary? What, okay, we can leave this till later, or this is not a priority. The same thing with when it comes to scaling and production, let's say production materials. How do you say, okay, it's time for us to maybe not start buying from the local markets, and maybe it's time for us to now start importing and things like that? How do you know that point?
So knowing that point has to do with your, how do I put it now? Your, I'm looking at, I want to try and get the right word to use. Now, for you to get to that point whereby you know that, oh, I need to do this, I need to increase this, I need to hire this, I need to do that. Now, it all has to do with your financial capacity.
Okay.
What is the business pocket saying?
Okay.
Can I afford to bring in a chartered accountant to come and work with me as an an account person?
Yeah.
So can I afford to bring in a chartered human resources manager to come and work with me? So at that point, you need to now define what role are more important to you as at that moment.
So basically, at some point, if I know that my finances cannot carry a chartered accountant,
Yes.
I can get a regular accountant that probably just graduated.
Yes, someone that have just maybe graduated,
Yeah.
or probably a copper
Yeah.
to support.
Yeah.
And in some cases, you go as far as hiring, you outsource your employee so as to ensure that somebody is there to manage that aspect for you. So you are not bothered about, oh, this is what I need. This is the
Yeah.
budget. So I don't want to exceed my budget. So in that case, you are sure that, okay, what you are getting value for your money. And at the same time, you are able to manage the available resources with you.
So I think another problem that small businesses have is, I know recently there was this trend about, a certain business owner was trying to hire, and there was an issue of, she keeps hiring and they keep leaving, they keep getting fired because, she's not hiring. As a startup, how do you filter? Because no business that wants to be going through a lot of CVs and all that. You also don't have the money to hire a consulting agency. So how do you now filter, one, the right hires for obviously not a lot that you're paying them, but reasonable enough? And then how do you know when, is this a good hire? Or is this just an emotional hire? And then what's the best practice when you're hiring, especially for, let's say, a one-man business, a small startup? How do you know, one, who is the right hire for this stage of the company? How much am I willing to pay them? What am I willing to put in terms of training? Because obviously you're not going to get a seasoned person. What am I willing to invest in those training for this kind of people? How do you know that? And then how do you implement it?
So it's simple. All you need to do is to, like I said earlier, understand your pockets.
Yeah.
And based on that, you are trying to work with what you have available, right? So in such cases, because you don't have the ability or that financial strength to get a more qualified person,
Yeah.
so that is why you have the opportunity of getting people that are,
Entry level.
entry level, so to say, so that you are able to train that person.
Yeah.
And because all these experienced people, the experienced professionals that you see outside, they also started from somewhere.
Yeah.
If no one gave them that opportunity, if no one have given them that opportunity right from time, there's no way they would have grown to where they are today, right? So in such businesses, you don't need a seasoned professional to do those things because you don't have, the financial capability to pay them in terms of remuneration and all. But of course, you can get someone an entry level who comes as an entry level employee that you can start up together. So in the process, you can also make trainings available for that person.
Okay.
So sometimes you just pay some sacrifices in that business so as to get what you want.
Yeah.
Mind you, sometimes after investing in such employee, they end up leaving.
Yes, and that's a huge problem. A lot of startups complain about, why will I put this much effort in someone that once person has done all training and has upskilled, use my own as experience to get a better paying job.
So what some organizations or some such startup business does is, that's what we call employment bond.
Okay.
So we have an agreement.
But does that work in Nigeria?
Yes, it works. Some do, some do it and it works for them. So it all depends. Okay, this is what you have, right? I will take you. But let's have an agreement. I will send you for this training. The training is costing me 500,000. No problem. I'll foot the bill, but you work on for 3 years. So it's a matter of understanding between that employee and the employer. So once they have that agreement, of course, they can, if the employee is willing, the employee is willing, he or she can go ahead and.
I have a problem. I have a problem because human beings are not exactly trustworthy.
So at that point, you owe me.
Yeah.
If I'm your employer,
and
we've had an agreement that, okay, don't worry, I will hire you, I'll send you for this training. So at that point, you owe me certain amount of money. So what then happen is, at the point of your exit, is that you are paying me the money for the training back, you're going to refund me, then I let you go. Else, you work with me for that long. Because as a small-scale business owner, I cannot imagine taking my time to invest so much in you. And after doing that, then you leave the business.
So I think that's where I have
takes me back to square zero. Then I'm starting all over again.
Yeah. But then most people, like employees, right? I have seen employees who just close their system one day, go home, and don't show up. And as much as we have all these laws and not in place, how many people have the energy and the finances to go and be haggling in court with an employee? Then how do you, because everybody's living in a rented apartment, especially when you're starting up. What if they just move to an apartment? How do you now track this like that?
So the thing is, for every business, there's a risk involved.
Yeah.
These are some of these little risk, you get yourself, involved in at the point of managing small scale businesses.
Yeah.
So sometimes you do some things just to make sure that you get what you feel is good for your business.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not just because what the law is saying or what one is saying. That's why sometimes I used to tell people, don't just look at what you want to get. Also look for a way to impact that person's life. So that at the end of the day, sometimes some employees work with emotions.
Yes.
Now, not because of the money you pay to them. Some can go to any length for you.
Because you're loyal to them.
Because you are loyal to them, or because you are so good to them, as you are good to your employees. So at the end of the day, sometimes they go extra mile. Some even walk. Even after leaving the office, they still get back to their house, trying to close one or two things for you.
Yeah.
While once it is 5 p.m., it is 5 p.m.
Pardon.
Forget it.
So you see, that brings me to the question of managing balance, right? Someone like Toby now can be once it's 5 p.m., I'm good, I'm done. Someone like me can be I'm going to work because I love my job, I love what I'm doing till 10 p.m. But then you see people like that tend to get burnt out. And if it's an organization because there are people that genuinely do the work because they love the job, not necessarily the organization, but because it's what they love to do.
Right.
Now, how do you manage? Because for most startups, it's as much as I want you to be comfortable, I also need to grow this business. And usually, the startup culture is work really hard until we've scaled. But in that process, you see a lot of employee burnout, a lot of exhaustion, a lot of overwhelm. In fact, some of them get into depression. Some will fall sick and faint on the job because they're trying to make it work. And then you now realize people are leaving. I think that's the common trend with startups. A lot of people come in, they have the energy, they want to work, but they get burnt out and they leave. And then you have to now start doing that entire recruitment process all over again. So it's burning out the startup founders, it's burning out their employees, HR is exhausted, even admin is stressed out, right? how do we create a balance among this? Because I mean, yes, for a startup, you have to grow. It means you have to do twice as much work, or even 3-4 times.
Yeah.
But then how do you now manage people's mental health? Because one, the chances are one person is doing 10 people's job in a startup.
Yes.
And the person will walk all through.
Yes.
It's not going to be easy to find a skill that will cover all those 10 people's job in one person. So you don't want this person to go. But you also need the person to deliver. You don't want the person to faint either. How do you manage it?
It's simple. As a business owner who is at the level of scaling up, all you need to do is to pay attention to your employee.
Yeah.
Pay attention to them by knowing what exactly they want, what their needs are. Some of those employees, it may not even be the job that's giving them problem. There could be some other, issues around them.
Life.
It could be family, it could be personal life.
Yeah.
And sometimes just a little word of encouragement goes a long way.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what's the problem. What's up with you? Oh,
A lot.
you've been acting
A
like
lot
this
is
of
up with
late.
me.
So what exactly is the problem? Do you think you need help in any area? Of course, if you know you are getting value
Yeah.
from that employee,
You
so
need to
you should
invest
be
the
able to
time.
go to any length to keep that person with you.
Because anybody asks me now, I'm going through a lot.
Yeah, even in a well-structured organizations, you see some employees going. I was going with somebody like yesterday, a sales team, and the guy said, I said, why come your attrition rate is this high? And the guy said, they are going, to join another business that pays them better, that do this, that do that. But okay, how come these other people are not leaving? They are meeting with their sales targets. Okay, they are meeting with their sales targets. So that means that sales targets has helped them to go. Even there's one of them that wanted to resign last month, but they didn't allow the guy to resign because if the guy should go,
they're in trouble.
they're in trouble. So also, of course, employees also have their own role to play in such business environments, because you need to put yourself in such a position whereby you feel very, very valuable.
Yeah.
You know that every little contribution you make or you bring into the business speaks volume. So by so doing, you have that good relationship. Some people are so bossy that they don't even pay attention to their employees. They don't care what they go through. Oh, you are working. Do this one. You must achieve this target. After I'm paying you. No.
Don't know if the person was just heartbroken or just lost their house.
Thank you. So it's more than the money. Ordinary, God, please, I'm having a headache. I need to take some rest. You cannot give because you want to. As you are growing, don't forget the people too have to grow.
Yeah.
You are growing your business, the employees too have to grow.
Yeah.
So there's so many things involved. So all you need to do as a small-scale business is just to try to, as much as possible, to encourage your employees.
Yeah.
Especially the ones that you know that, these people, I can't do with this person. If I should lose busy now, if I should lose a lot busy now, this business will suffer.
Yeah.
Can I get somebody that will replace her? So keep them. I used to tell people, don't wait until these employees show that they are leaving.
Before you now start saying, let's have a conversation.
Okay,
Do you need more money?
Charlie coming to work? I my job is picking me in the morning. No.
That's true. A lot of startups do that.
Where were those ideas before now?
For now, yeah.
So don't make the employee feel like, I'm only important to this person anytime I tell her I'm leaving, or anytime I tell him I'm leaving. And most organizations does it, even well-structured organizations.
Yes.
Not just most.
Yeah, I had a friend that said the same thing. She said she was about to leave. She had been complaining about the burnout for a long while. In fact, she was just asking for a 2-week leave, and they couldn't give her. And she was about to leave. The new company that she was going to had said, okay, fine, drop your quit notice, we'll pay in lieu.
Yes.
Then we'll give you a month to rest so you can come refreshed. Mm-hmm. When she was going to drop the letter, they said, okay, so what do you need? Do you need leave?
See?
It's too late.
The annoying part is, take for example, you have hired somebody who's an HR professional. So take for example, I've hired you as a small business. I've hired you as talent acquisition manager. I don't expect you to do any other thing apart from hiring talents for me.
Yeah.
And if peradventure you've started the war and probably you're not doing much because you do really not have much people that we're hiring, then I can, of course, extend some other rules to you.
Yeah.
Talk about maybe learning and development for the employees.
Yeah.
Talk about payroll management.
Yeah.
Talk about other areas of human resources
that you can relate
that you can handle. And of course, for me to see that you can handle those things, then I should be able to compensate you as well.
True.
So I should not say because I've hired you as a talent acquisition manager and your salary is 100,000 naira, then I'm adding other additional rules. Because if I'm bringing in somebody, they're still paying that person. And before you know it, if this person should resign, such a company will still look at, we need to bring it, and the person is asking for assistance you couldn't support. And
the person you will now bring in will be more expensive.
Or even now bring in 2 people. Because the person says, this is this. My
JD is
my
And-
JD is clear.
Yes, and the
So it's not my
new,
responsibility to
the
do this for you.
replacement hires are always mean. I notice replacement hires are always very
Yeah.
mean about
So-
this is what if you can't give me this, I'm not coming.
So it's clear. So in that case, you tend to spend more
Yeah.
as the CEO or as the owner of the business.
Okay.
So the truth is, CEOs and owners of business must pay attention to their employees. It's very important. Understand what they want. Don't wait until you're about to lose them. And say, oh, okay, don't worry, I will give you this. Okay, I will add this to this. No, it shouldn't be. So if I hire you to work, do the job, get paid, and everybody's happy at the end of the day.
Interesting. So let's talk about loyalty hires. So I've seen a lot of small businesses that hire when they're small. And they hired this person, they took the time to put in the training, and the person has done a lot for them. But then the business is growing,
Yeah.
and this is where the problem comes in. The person is growing, but not growing at the pace of the business. But because, this was one of my first hires, they stuck with me when I didn't have anything and all that. You want to keep them there. And you know the way let's say we hire one person in HR when you're starting, hire one person in admin, hire one person in legal, you hire one person in marketing. And then the business starts growing. And then you need these people to do a lot more. They are not skilled for this role even after training, right? Because some of these roles you have to take, your experience matters. You can't just grow into them. But you don't want to bring in experienced hires to come and lead that team because this person has been with me from the ground. And then you start having serious mistakes, serious issues.
Yeah.
But the loyalty to the person now becomes a problem for the business. Most employees excuses. I don't feel like it is fair to hire someone else to come and lead this person because this person started with me. I know it is wrong, but I also get where they're coming from. How do we find the balance?
Simple. Get their area of interest. Get their area of strength and put them there.
Okay.
So the person has been with you for ages. You don't want to lose him or her at that point because the person has made some sacrifices. Your business has grown to the extent that you need to bring in more professionals to work with you. Of course, you don't have to send the person away. There are two ways to manage this. Number one is either you place that person where the person belongs or pay the person off. Oh, you've done well. I appreciate the time we have spent together running this business to make things work. But at this point, I think I need to move on, to do this, to do that. Or another option, send the person for training. Train the person. Who told the person cannot be good? The person can be good as well. So it's a matter of you, of course, for the person to spend such time with you, it means that the person
They brought some value.
has indeed brought some value to the business. So you can also invest in return by sending the person for a training. So there are quite a lot of options. Send the person for a training, tell the person what you want the person to be. Now, of course, and that is why, as employees also, don't limit yourself because that company is not growing or is at the pace of scaling. So as the company is growing, invest in yourself to grow as well.
Yeah. Because I know most employees.
In fact, even some employers will not even bother to look at how far you've gone with them.
Actually,
Just, I'm sorry,
not working.
it's like that role, you can't handle it. Because see finished, they're finished there now. They've seen you, they've seen everything you can do. We know what you can do. And we know you cannot do more than this. Do you understand? So just go. Let's get somebody that can do better.
Yeah. Because I know most employees, the problem is usually, the narrative is usually, after everything I did, had somebody to come and be my boss, would now be giving me order. Where was that person when they couldn't afford to?
Thank you.
Meanwhile, I'm still there. So that narrative.
So
is
where
the
were you
problem.
when the business was growing?
Why didn't you grow?
Why didn't you grow with the business? Right? So invest in yourself.
Yeah.
You need to go to school. Go to school. You need to earn higher degree. Go ahead. You need to do some professional certifications. Go ahead and do them.
Yeah.
So make sure that. So one thing I tell people is try that. As much as you are in business and you are working with the company, always ensure that you are in competition, right?
Yeah.
Make sure that your level is matching up with the market value,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You can't say you're an admin manager and there's a market value for admin manager, but there are basic requirements for you to say, yes, I am a professional in this field. All right. There are years of experience. Okay. There are basic, educational qualifications. So you don't have it. And you said I should bring you as admin manager. How? It can't work.
Okay.
So invest in yourself
Yeah.
as an employee
Yeah.
so that you are able to compete, to work within the market
On the market,
competition.
Yeah. Okay. That's good.
Okay, so what are the common admin mistakes that businesses make, and how can they avoid them for admins?
So, I've made mistakes. Sometimes the most common mistakes when it comes to scaling up or startup businesses is documentation.
Okay.
Some don't value documentation.
Mm.
And the day you start to see documentation as something small, that day your business will start to have problem.
Yeah.
Mm.
So in everything you do, documentation is key.
Mm.
As simple as, okay, I want to go on leave it can go a long way affecting your business, right?
Yes.
We need to be clear on what we do. And that is why email communication is important. Don't say because we have a good relationship. Because of
I'm
that,
just
you
going
need to do
to tell
something.
you.
You just tell me, I want to go. No. Follow the process. Documentation is key. Follow the normal process. Develop SOPs for your operations. SOP is standard operation procedures.
Yeah.
What are the things I must do if I need to do this? What do I need to get this and that?
Yeah.
Right? So once all of these checks are in place, your operations for admin operations or what have you will just, it will just look like plug and play.
Yeah, but for a small business that is, I mean, if I'm just starting out, say I want to start selling chips, right? I want to start selling perfumes. I'm not necessarily looking to right, how many perfume did I sell today? And all. It's not the first thing that will come to my head. My own is let me just sell and even make money first. Let me even find clients to even buy, right? So for small businesses, you see that documentation thing is a hassle. Yes, we know that it matters, but maybe we don't understand the depth of how valuable or how dangerous it is not to have it. Because the average small business just wants to know that at least I'm making profits. Somewhere in my head, I feel like I'm making profits. I know that yes,
So
the documents
how do you feel you are making profits?
because
How do you know you are making profits?
because if I want to
People just
spend money, I
tell you
have
that they
extra.
sold out. Some people tell you
I sold out.
No, you also now that you are sold out doesn't mean you are making profits.
Wow.
Yes. Now you might sold out on a particular product, and of the truth, you are running at a loss when you are not clear on what your expenditures and income is all about. That is
Expenditure.
where the documentation is
Yeah.
important.
Because the money I'm
See,
using to send the or fuel I'm
You are
using and all
selling
those
it
things.
now, no problem. We know. Now there are so many expenses that goes into running your businesses that many people don't take cognizance of. As small as fuel of 1,000 naira, 5,000 naira is to run your generator. Some don't see it as a cost. By the end of the day, you see, how will you make profit? So you need to be clear on your definition of profit.
Sold out.
Why do you think big organizations goes into higher professionals in accounting to help them manage their accounts? Why do they do P&L, profit and loss? They want to be clear. What are the expectations? So what's my production output? What's the cost of my production? What's my expense? What are my expenses? What's the cost of my expenses? What's my overhead cost? What are government charges? What are dues that I pay? There are so many things centered around being an entrepreneur. However, why do you think most small businesses struggle to survive in a place called so-called Lagos State?
Yeah.
But there are so many charges involved.
Yeah.
So the little things that as little as electricity bill is, if you're on band A, you're in trouble. And you have machines running,
On those
Yeah.
things.
So, but these are the things that you put into consideration. So you can't tell me you are making profit. Let me see your
Because you
profit and
sold
loss
out.
account.
What if your cost, if your pricing is wrong?
So
and
let's
it's
see your
not covering all.
let's see your profit and loss. Then we are sure that indeed you are making profits.
Yeah, so documentation is one thing. Do we have like any other thing aside from documentation
Yeah.
for the common administration?
Because at this point, juggling all these things together is not easy.
Yes, so I think majorly, once you have it documented, so because of course your business has not grown to the extent that you need some other things to come in,
Yeah.
you need some other processes in place, and also that's at the point of growth. That's when you start looking at, okay, what else do I need? Okay, I need to develop some SOPs to manage my operations. If I need to develop some SOPs to manage my fleet, there's so many other things are involved to get your processes, much more better. But as small scale business, the most important thing, so to say, is that document. Because once you have everything documented, you have record for all what you do, then you are clear on what your expenses are and what your profits are.
Okay, so let me ask this question. So for small business owners,
Yeah.
you made mention of email. I can tell you that a lot of small business owners don't make use of emails.
Yeah.
They would
Yes,
rather
they don't.
use
WhatsApp
the paper
chats.
or WhatsApp that can
Yes.
clear off. They will not put on their status. Resend last message.
Yes.
Last message clears off.
Yeah.
So what would you say about that? Paper work or digital means of documenting the
So
process?
digital means is advisable.
Mm.
I mean, for the purpose of security.
Yeah.
If you are putting your information, your what have you on WhatsApp, let there be a backup. There's nothing wrong in you using WhatsApp. But that's the fastest means of advertising, as far as I'm concerned. But there should be a plan for backup. So that, say, for example, something happened to your phone or it got lost somehow, you are not starting from square zero. You don't start running around to get those information back. So it's as simple as what WhatsApp is. It's good, but of course, there should be a backup so that you don't, lose all your documents or all your, vital information as far as your business.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, so you've heard? I've heard personally because a lot of this I didn't even know. Apparently, there's a lot I don't know. But the important thing is, as a small business owner, documents, scale gradually. Again, with length, scale at pace. Don't overshoot yourself. Don't assume you're making profit because you're sold out. Because you might not be making profit.
Of course.
And most importantly, use Ercas for your payments. Yes.
Yeah,
Then
that's where the documentation comes in.
Yes.
Because with Ercas, you are clear of
What's
what
coming in.
what's coming in, what's going out. So everybody's clear. No cheating.
Yes.
Yeah.
Any final words?
So my final words for all business owners, business owner aspiring to grow is that, like I've said, scale up gradually. Pay attention to your employees. More importantly, people management is key. People management as part of people management, you manage your clients, you manage your customers. You can't tell me that you don't sell. How will you sell if you don't have good relationships?
Relationship skills. This is the second time we're hearing that.
Very important. So it's as simple as greeting is, or the way you approach or talk to people on phone is. It goes a long way. Someone is calling for the first time, oh, hello, and you are talking to the person, oh, you're supposed to come by this time. If the person is calling you at odd hour, there are ways you still attend to that person because it's your business line.
And even still pass the message without being rude about it.
Exactly. So pay attention to details, pay attention to people, manage your people well, manage your clients well. It's important for you to grow in business. Then scale up gradually.
Especially as a small business owner who doesn't have a lot of money. If you don't manage people well, they will leave.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Thank you so much, Dennis.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome. And as always, comments. Yes, I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of questions after this one and you have a lot of comments. Please put them down. We will attend to all of them. If we need to bring Dennis back to help you attend to them, we'll bring him back. So subscribe, turn on notifications. It's very important. I will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.